Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are exploring some of these Colorbloom inks. If you haven't seen them before, because they are pretty new, there's Crafter's Companion. They're on their Duet ink pad line, but these are specifically Colorbloom. So let's take a quick step back before we get started. The different types of ink that you can have are really regular ink and pigment ink or the hybrid. Now, I don't have any just pigment ink pads. I only have regular ink pads or hybrid ink pads. And the hybrid ink pads have properties of both ink and pigment. So I do have this shimmer ink pad, which has some shimmer built into the ink pad. I would put it along with the hybrid ink pads, as it has a lot of the characteristics of ink, but it also has some characteristics of pigment. The pigment is just pearlescent rather than being matte. Crafter's Companion also has some of these hybrid inks, and a couple other lines do too. There's a lot of really great just regular ink pads. So that's kind of a background of the different type of ink pads. The last thing I'll say is with the regular ink pads, what you'll notice is the color will sink in to the paper and dye the fibers. That's how the ink works. The pigment, which I don't have, just sits on top, right? It's going to sit on top of the paper, and it's going to be more opaque because it's sitting rather than dyeing, sitting on top of the fibers rather than soaking in and dyeing the fibers. The hybrid ink, like the Distress Oxide, like the Colorbloom, or Duet ink pads, are going to have both, where the liquidy part is going to be regular ink, so it will go in and dye. The pigment part is also kind of a part of the mixture, and it's going to sit on top of the paper. So when Tim Holtz really first came out with these kind of hybrid ink pads, I really think he was the first. At least he was the first I ever noticed. What he did is he did the same color of ink with the same color of pigment. So as it wicks out, the ink wicks out the same color and the pigment stays where you have it. So like if I stamp something down with this ink pad, then I spritz it with a little water, the ink base of the ink pad is going to wick away, but it's going to be the same color as the pigment, which kind of stays in place. So that's a bit of the background. What Crafter's Companion then did is they said, what if we put a two different colors? So one color being the pigment and one color being the ink. And that's kind of how the Colorblooms were born. They may not be the first company to think of this. I honestly am not sure. It's the first one I've seen, and it's a really cool concept, really cool idea. So I have these 12. I believe 12 started it. We'll see if they come out with any more. They haven't come out with any more Duet ink pads, I don't think. I think I've bought all the Duet ink pads, but we'll see. Hopefully they'll continue coming out with more. And there's just a lot of really cool colors. So I thought maybe let's try stamping one or two of these colors. Scooch all of those to the side. I brought out this pumpkin stamp that I have because it has some thin lines and it has some coverage. So we're going to try this, and let's just stamp one of these down. I don't know, maybe this Willow River. Let's see how it looks. Oh, it does stamp. It does fill up that ink pad really well. It does look very green, so this green must be the pigment color, and the yellow that you see here must be the ink. Let's try this. Okay. Oh, it did stamp really well. Let me pull this out. Okay. Before I spritz some water on this, why don't we stamp just a couple more to really get a good idea? We won't go through all of them, but I do want to get a couple down. So let's do this anemone. Anemone? I think that's how you say it. We'll just really tap this down. And I'm thinking the blue is the pigment and the purple is the ink on this one. Let's get this one nice and lined up next to it. There we go. Spritz that. Oh, yeah, you can start to see that wicking out just with the water there. Okay, let's pick two more in some various colors. We'll do this pomegranate. Oh, what a fun color and what a fun name. Okay, so pink must be the pigment, orange must be the ink. I wonder if they had to go with the lighter color being the ink. I don't know. That's interesting. Okay. Get a nice, good stamp. And that's looking really good. Okay. I'm thinking one more color and then let's test this out. What I'll probably do is just go ahead and stamp all of them at some point and get a nice little slip of paper here. I'll write the names of each of the inks so I know what they stamp out with. Okay. Trying to get different colors. Purple. This rose cloud looks really cool. I also like the hellebore. Okay, we'll do these two. We'll do these two more and we'll see how they look. Okay. Because I'm just so excited. I really want to see what it's going to look like. Hellebore. I don't know what that is or what it's from. Most of the other ones, you know, dusk orchid, rose cloud, I can kind of get where it's coming from, but hellebore must be some kind of flower or something Europe-y. Maybe as a poor American, I just am not aware of what that is. Okay, rose cloud. Let's get this one nice, juicy. And there we go. Maybe we'll make room for one more here at the top and we'll get halfway through. Okay. Oh, I don't know that we've got the space. Well, we'll go with these 5 and I will get the other ones in when I can. Okay. So, let's spritz it out. If you're looking for a good water sprayer, I would recommend this Master's Touch Fine Mist Sprayer. It does a really fine mist. You can get them from Hobby Lobby, and the Tim Holtz spray that I see most people use gives a really harsh spray. This Master's Touch just gives a mist, which I could see an argument for both, but what I like to use is the mist one most of the time because you can kind of squeeze and get a little bit more directed flow. Okay, let's, okay. I'm gonna leave that off to the side. What I might do is twist and turn it. Oh, I am just showing on this. There we go. I zoomed in a little bit for you guys. I am looking to get a nicer camera for this one so that this desktop would be a little bit nicer. So just FYI, I'm working on that. Now, we've done that. Let's see how they paint. What do you think would be a good color here? It is interesting they only have the one green. I wish they had more greens. I think that's definitely missing from their color palette. But let's pick up this summer bouquet first. We'll try using a little bit of that, and I have some, oops, there we go. I think this should be a clean brush, and we'll just add a little bit of the summer bouquet into this bouquet of flowers. See how everything kind of works when you're actually painting it, because that's one of my favorite techniques. Now, the one technique that I love to do with these hybrid ink pads, and I don't know that I'm going to be able to do, is the Ranger glossy paper. You can do the smudging technique, and then after a while, when you're done with the smudges, you come over it with the micro glaze, and it reveals this really beautiful, awesome paper. And let me see, I apologize if that's not focusing very well. Maybe I can zoom down just a little bit. Okay, there we go. I think that's focusing a tiny bit better. But this cardstock is that technique through a stencil, and you can see how dimensional that technique is. But I could not find any of this glossy paper online to buy because I was thinking about that. I was like, that would be a really cool technique. And I would love to do that, but I don't know. It might be they've discontinued that paper. It's basically photo cardstock, but it's clay based, is what I remember Tim Holtz explaining it as. And so I just don't know where to get clay based photo paper other than that one, which it seems like they're no longer making. So that's a little sad and disappointing, but we will soldier on, and I'll keep looking. Maybe somebody has it in stock. Oh, let me lift this up for you because that is just beautiful and so easy. So easy. This painting with this might be one of the coolest things. I do also want to show you kind of what that ink is doing. That's just so fun. You can see kind of right here where the purple, it's more purple. I think that's where the blue ink whisked away. And then the blue ink here is still there, and so you get that difference of color. Wow, that is just fun. I'm really liking these. I I was a little nervous about buying them, but actually they're kind of amazing. Let me try on this black paper. I do not know what this is going to do. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't look like much. So don't be expecting anything. We will be surprised either way. Let me grab some of this summer bouquet again. Yeah, I think really you're only going to get the pigment. So let me wipe this just a little bit and add a little bit more down. Okay. Grab some more of that. Okay, so when you have some of the pigment will kind of show up, but you're not going to get the cool effect like you do on the white paper. So that's good to know. This may just not be a good ink pad for black paper, which is fine. Yeah. I rubbed it off to get it off the top, and that just rubbed everything off. So, not for black paper. Good to know. But it is for white paper. That is for sure. Let me just grab a little bit more, and we'll add it in across this page just a little bit. Oh, how cute. Okay. Maybe add a little few more depths of color in some places. Okay. I'm loving that. That is just so sweet. Maybe what we'll do is we'll have some of the color coming in from this edge. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now, just a reminder, I had planned to do a different video today, which is our random card challenge. And I did the random card challenge last month, but the reason why I moved it is one, because I got these faster than I thought I was going to. And two, I have not quite finished my card from last month, but you can kind of see here is the main parts of it. I just need to do a background, which I think I'm just going to do kind of a gunmetal gray background, and then glue all of this down onto a card. And it will not be my best card ever, but it will be a fun card. So just a reminder to check out our next video. And this one typically would be on Thursday, but I have some visitors coming, so it will be Friday at 7 p.m. Central. But if you can't join it, don't worry. Just catch it on the replay and try making your own random card challenge, random card using kind of the results we generate. And I'd love to see what all you'll make. Okay, squeeze that over, and maybe let's try this shawl. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Shawl? That's what I'm gonna go with. Okay. Oh, wow. That is a vivid ink. Okay. Wow. I was planning to do the other flowers, but I actually think kind of in the background might be a better use and make the foreground pictures really pop. So let me paint a little bit of water, and the reason I'm painting the water is so it moves. So once I put that ink down, it'll really start moving and grooving and getting where I want to go. And if the water's down there already, it'll do all the cool properties, hopefully, that I think it's going to do, kind of breaking apart from the pigment as well as the ink. Okay, so we've got that. I'm going to scooch this up so maybe you can see it a little better. And let's just start. I want to come pretty close to the edge so that we get some nice, good coverage right up in there. And the darkest color is next to this really vibrant rose so that the rose really pops. There we go. If we get a little in the lines, we're not worrying that much about it. Oh, okay. Look at that. Wow. I really, really love these ink pads. How fun. Okay. Let me use my wet ink pad or wet brush to kind of pull this color out. And I'm going to tap, tap, tap. Because I want those to kind of naturally blend. And we'll come back in with a little bit of water in just a second for that. Okay. These look really cool. Oops. Forgot to turn my phone on silent. There we go. Wow. I was 50-50 on these. I almost didn't buy them, but I am really glad I did because they just make the painting using inks just so cool. And they really remind me of brusho, but you have a little bit more control with these inks than you do with the brusho. Now, don't get me wrong, still love brusho, but you do have a little bit more control with these inks that you just don't get with the brusho. So I'm going to move this around so I can start painting over here. And we'll start going there. Just come in on these edges. There we go. And this is just a piece of watercolor paper that I embossed with a stamp a while ago. I think I did it on camera. So if you look back a couple lives, you should be able to find it. And let me come back over here. Just want that to be nice, soft blend. Come over with some more just regular water. And there we go. Keep that wet. And I think that should be good for us to start dropping some more ink into. And we'll just go here. Once it's fully dry, we can always come back in with a dry cloth over the top to kind of wipe off anything that got on top of the embossing. So don't worry too much about getting on top of the embossing, and then anything that came in to like this that came in, we'll just put a little bit of water on there and it'll go away, or almost go away, and then we'll paint on top of it and we'll be fine. There we go. So just getting that dark blue in up close, and I want to pull that out. And there we go. How fun. Okay. Drop a little bit more of that darkest color in. Now this one, I don't feel as much of the two-tone. It seems more similar. I guess the pigment is more turquoise while the ink is more sky blue. So it's more subtle than some of the other ones, but subtle's not a bad thing. Just a little less intense. So go there. Help that. Let's come back in and bring some more of the ink. I am being a little bit more careful on the sections I've already painted, just because those would be harder to clean up. But there we go. And maybe we'll paint just a little bit more once we get this blue done. There we go. Oops, I'm slightly out of frame. I apologize. Let's go here and get this water. I come back with quite a bit of water because it will dry pretty quickly. I didn't wet this before, so the first layer of wet really goes into the paper and starts opening the fibers. So you really have to go in kind of with 2 layers. So let's do that. Okay. And here we go. We'll come back with this dark ink and drop that in. There we go. To me, it looks very beachy, which I'm kind of loving. Here it is in the 80s this weekend, so I have been enjoying shorts and flip-flops, or sandals more like it, and just really loving the weather. I wanted a little bit more winter weather this year than I got, but I did enjoy the weather that we had, and now I'm enjoying the summer weather, which I say because I live in Oklahoma and there's like 2 days of spring, which have done and gone now. Okay. Oh, see, you can kind of see where it dried. I just put a little water over it, but you can kind of see the ink versus the pigment really forming there. And this line between the blue and this yellow is really rough. Maybe if we come in with just a tiny bit, we can kind of blend that out. I don't know. Okay, yeah. Might need a tiny bit more, but I think that maybe that's helping. Maybe. And I guess what you do need to know with these inks is you are not going to get a solid, like a perfect blend. So that's definitely something we've learned today. Don't be expecting perfection. Just have an open mind and let the inks do what they're going to do. You're more of a guide than anything else. So we're just going to put a little bit more ink down. Let that bleed out. Okay. That's something. We've made something. I don't know that I would call it the best something ever to something, but it's something. Okay, and maybe let's grab some of that green from the very, very beginning. You can see it here. Willow River, which I really think that is something they're missing in this line, is we need more greens. I would love some deep forest greens. That would be amazing. Okay, and let me just grab some of this. We'll just plop it in some of these leaves. Now that's fun. They are very vibrant colors, which I personally love. If you're more of a subtle person, there are some more subtle colors, and I think you could definitely tone these down with like a brown ink pad if you wanted to. So that's definitely something to think about. But Crafter's Companion does tend to go very bold in their colors, very vibrant. Okay, here we go. And I think rather than finishing this up, which be very easy, you've seen most of it, it's just painting those last couple flowers. I want to do the splodging technique because that sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, I will probably do maybe this pink grapefruit for the flower. Now, real quick, let's try a tiny liner pen before doing our splodging technique and just see if we can get a nice line. Oh, we can. So, it's always important to know. Get a pretty decent one. Okay, we can see how those develop. Nice. And let's clean this up, and then we'll do the very last technique and see if it looks okay. Yes, so overall, I am a big fan of these inks. We'll definitely be using them more. I'm very glad I added them to my collection. Really, my big complaint is I need more colors. I need more. I believe this is a 4x6 piece of watercolor paper. I'm going to move this out of the way just for right now. And let's pick a few of these colors. I'm thinking this Stargazer, maybe Nebula, and pink grapefruit. That'll be fun. Here is Stargazer. So I'm going to do some larger blobs of these. Pink grapefruit. Whoa, that is neon. I don't know if y'all can tell, but that is very, very neon. Okay. And this Nebula. Which, did we use this? I guess, no, we used the shoal. Okay. Interesting. Now, while that kind of wicks out, I am going to spray this watercolor piece of paper, start getting those fibers ready to accept the ink. So we'll There we go. Oh, wow. You can even start to see some of that really cool aspects of this ink. Now, we'll just kind of blendy with our fingers. And, okay, I'm going to heat dry this just a tiny bit so we can do multiple layers. It didn't pick up the purple very well, but the other two colors are great. Okay. There we go. Quick. And I'm going to put it in the same kind of general areas. And I'm going to try really pick up that purple and a little bit of this pink. Oh, okay. Okay. I like it. That second layer really added a lot of dimension. We'll see what a third layer does. Okay. And here we are. It's looking fancy. Just kind of pick up some color all around. Be really intense. I don't know. Okay. That looks pretty cool. I'm thinking, I don't think we actually need to dry this layer. Because I'm thinking maybe if we just do one color, that'll let the properties of this ink really shine. I'm considering doing that one that we just did, but the really pink one, but we've already done it. So let's do one of the ones we haven't tried. I did spray the watercolor piece just to get those fibers opening up, ready to have fun. And we'll use this dusk orchid. Ooh, actually, I'm glad we did this one. Try something new. And we won't put quite as much water as we did. Okay. See, you can even already, maybe you can. I can see where it's starting to separate out. So let's just roll this baby on. Something simple. See how this goes. Oh my gosh, could you imagine some grays? Oh, ooh. Okay. Okay, that's fun. Let's see. Yes, that's what we need, is we need some more muddy colors. Oh, I love the color line they come out with. Don't get me wrong at all on that. I just think we need like 36 more colors in a lot of different versions. Maybe some jewel tone ones, well, there are a few jewel tones and there are a few pastels, but more. And then some more muddy colors would be really, really awesome. There's almost some blue in here. Let me try and grab that. Ooh, there we go. And maybe whatever's down here. Okay. Ooh, fun. So yeah, just you really almost want to do just a one color splodge with these ink pads, maybe two colors, but the 3 colors, you almost lose the value of doing this with the Colorbloom as opposed to just the regular hybrid ink. With just the one color, you get to really experience the different colors. Oh, okay. There we go. I guess I could say I am a fan of these colors. They seem like a really cool buy. So if getting inky and getting your fingers all messy is on your list of to-dos, then I would definitely recommend these Colorbloom Duet ink pads. So don't worry, we will see more of these because they are so incredibly fun. And just a reminder what we've looked at today, what we've created. We created some of these splodging techniques to see. This was with 3 different colors where you do get a lot of range. And then this is just with the one color. I think 1 to 2 colors is the right aspect for the splodging technique. We also tried stamping and wicking it out. You can see what really cool results we got. Then we also tried painting with these. And I don't know if you can see on the rose. I'm not 100% sold on the background, but on the rose, it just really turned out amazing with absolutely minimal work. If you struggle with watercolor, but you want to do watercolor, these Colorblooms may be a secret key to do it really easily. So that kind of covers what we went over today. I hope y'all enjoyed and this was helpful to you. I found it really helpful and I have a ton of ideas about additional things I want to try. So we'll definitely be doing more with these. But for today, I think that's going to cover it. So reminder, we have a video coming up on Friday, which is the random card challenge. And then also sometime either this week or next week, I'm going to continue working on my Enchanted Forest decor piece that I'm working on. You can see the previous 2 lives on that. They are really fun and I'm really excited about that. We have a lot of other cool videos coming up and I had so much fun today exploring all of these really cool inks with you. I hope you come back and if this video was at all helpful, like this video, that really helps me out, and subscribe so you don't miss any of this super fun, exciting content. Bye guys.